There are two different types of people in the gaming world right now. Those who have fallen down the Marvel Rivals rabbit hole, and those who are about to. In just 6 months, this game has gone from NetEase cash grab to legitimate gaming phenomenon. But here's the million-dollar question. Is Marvel Rivals actually good? Or are we all just caught up in Marvel hype and nostalgia? Today, we're cutting through the marketing BS and superhero spectacle to find out if this is truly the genre-defining masterpiece that people claim, or just another free-to-play time sink dressed in spandex. The answer might surprise you. It certainly surprised me. The first thing that hits you about Marvel Rivals isn't the gameplay or even the heroes, it's the world. As someone who has sunk hundreds of hours into multiplayer shooters, I can confidently say that few games nail their environments like Marvel Rivals does. The game takes us across a Marvel multiverse that includes everything from the neon-soaked streets of Tokyo 2099 to the technological paradise of Wakanda, and each location is dripping with personality. What makes these maps truly special, though, is how they integrate the Marvel universe into their design. You're not just fighting in generic sci-fi corridors or bland urban landscapes. You're battling in locations that feel lived in and authentic to the source material. The Sanctum Sanctorium map has mystical artifacts floating around and portals that occasionally open to other dimensions. Krakoa feels alive with mutant plant life that reacts to the battle around it. I mean, these aren't just backdrops, they're characters in their own right. But the absolute game changer, and I cannot stress this enough, is the Destructible environments. When NetEase announced this feature, I honestly rolled my eyes so hard I nearly saw my own brain. I thought, great, another gimmick that'll be forgotten a week after launch. But boy was I wrong. The destruction in Rivals fundamentally changes how matches play out. That sniper nest that Hawkeye's been terrorizing your team from blasts the hell out of the floor beneath him with Hulk's thunderclap. That choke point the enemy team has locked down. Have Thor bring down the ceiling and create a new path. It's genuinely revolutionary stuff that adds a layer of tactical depth I truly didn't expect. That said though, it's not all sunshine and superpowers. With only 8 maps at launch, you'll start seeing the same locations repeat pretty quickly. And while each map has its own visual identity, the actual layout of objectives often falls into predictable patterns. I mean, you've got your standard choke points, your flanking routes, your sniper perches, all the usual suspects. And the destruction helps alleviate this somewhat, but you'll still find yourself running the same basic plays on each map within your first few weeks with the game. Now, is that a deal breaker? No, not even close. The sheer spectacle of these environments combined with the dynamic destruction system elevates Rivals' world design well above most of its competitors. When you're standing on a crumbling Tokyo 2099 skyscraper as Storm's hurricane tears through the battlefield, sending debris flying everywhere while Magneto redirects it toward the enemy team, those are the moments that make this game so special, the moments that keep me coming back night after night. And now, let's talk about the meat and potatoes of any hero shooter, the actual heroes. Marvel Rivals launched with 33 playable characters, now up to 38, which is quite frankly insane for a new entry in the genre. Most games would be lucky to launch with half that number, and these aren't just random nobodies either. We're talking about the heavy hitters like Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Thor, alongside more obscure picks like Squirrel Girl, Jeff the Landshark, and Penny Parker. The roster is divided into 3 categories: Vanguards, which are your tanks, Duelists, which represent damage dealers, and Strategists, otherwise known as your supports. It's a familiar system that everyone who's played a hero shooter before will understand immediately. But here's where things get interesting. Marvel Rivals doesn't lock you into specific team compositions. There's no role queue forcing you to have 2 of each class. Want to run 6 Duelists? Go for it. Maybe 5 Strategists and a Vanguard? Knock yourself out. This freedom to experiment with team comps adds a layer of chaos to matches that I've honestly found incredibly refreshing. Another standout feature is the team-up system, which gives paired heroes additional abilities or buffs when they're on the same team. Wolverine and Hulk, for example, can perform the classic fastball special from the comics, with Hulk literally throwing Wolverine at enemies. Rocket Raccoon can ride on Groot's shoulders for improved mobility and protection. I mean, these team-ups not only add mechanical depth, but also acknowledge the relationships that these characters have in the source material. It's the kind of feature that makes you think, why hasn't anyone done this before? But, and this is a big but, the hero balance is all over the damn place. Some characters are so obviously overpowered that you'll see them in literally every match. I mean, Venom's self-healing and damage output make him nearly unkillable in the right hands. Moon Knight can delete squishy targets before they even know what hit them, and Iron Man has mobility, damage, and sustainability that quite honestly puts other duelists to shame. And at the other end of the spectrum, you've got heroes like the Punisher and Invisible Woman who feel like they're fighting with water pistols when compared to the top tier picks. The voice acting though does deserve some special mention here. The performers behind these heroes bring them to life in a way that transcends the sometimes generic gameplay. Spider-Man's quips as he swings around the battlefield, Rocket's sarcastic commentary when he gets a kill, Winter Soldier's cold, calculating callouts, it all adds up to create characters that you genuinely care about playing, even when they're not the optimal pick for winning. Is the roster perfect? Hell no. But the combination of quantity, quality, and variety makes it one of the most impressive aspects of Marvel Rivals. When it works, when you've got a team with complementary abilities and team-ups all working together to execute a perfect push, it's some of the most satisfying gameplay I have experienced in years. Now, to the heart of any shooter, how does it actually feel to play? In short, chaotic as all hell, but in mostly the best way possible. Marvel Rivals is a 6v6 third-person hero shooter that wears its Overwatch inspiration on its sleeve. The basic modes will be familiar to anyone who's played a game in this genre before. I mean, you've got Convoy, otherwise escorting a payload, Domination, where you just control areas on the map, and Convergence, a kind of hybrid of the two. There's nothing revolutionary about the objective design, but it does what it needs to. It creates focal points for the non-stop superhero brawl that is the core gameplay loop. The shift to third-person perspective is one of Rival's most divisive design choices. On one hand, it makes sense for a game featuring characters with such iconic looks. I mean, you want to see Spider-Man's acrobatics or Iron Man's armor in action. And on the other hand, it fundamentally changes the feel of combat when compared to first-person shooters like Overwatch. Aiming feels less precise, spatial awareness is a bit different, and the game overall has a more arcadey vibe. It personally took me a good 10 to 15 hours to really get comfortable with it, but now I can't imagine playing these characters any other way. The combat itself is fast, fluid, and extremely ability-focused. Basic attacks are important, sure, but your cooldown abilities and ultimate are where the real power lies. Star-Lord's jet-boosted dodges, Winter Soldier's cybernetic arm grabs, Scarlet Witch's reality-warping explosions. These are the moments that define matches and create those highlight reel plays that keep social media buzzing about the game. The biggest issue with the gameplay, though, is visual clarity, or rather the complete lack thereof it. When all 12 players are unleashing abilities in a tight space, the screen becomes an absolute mess of particles, explosions, and effects. Half the time I die, and I have no idea what actually killed me until I see the death recap. It's honestly a problem that plagues most hero shooters to some degree, but Rivals cranks it up to 11 with the Marvel spectacle of it all. Another major pain point is the uneven match quality. Without a role queue, team comps are wildly inconsistent. Sometimes you'll get a perfectly balanced team with tanks, damage, and support all working in harmony. And other times, you'll get 6 lone wolves all playing their favorite character with zero regard for team synergy. The game desperately needs better matchmaking or incentives for playing less popular roles, but when everything does click, when both teams are evenly matched with complementary hero picks and players who understand their roles, Marvel Rivals delivers some of the most exhilarating multiplayer moments I have ever experienced. Pushing the final checkpoint in Convoy with seconds left on the clock, your team's ultimates chaining together perfectly while the enemy makes a desperate last stand? Oh yeah, that is the good stuff right there. That's what keeps me coming back despite the frustrations. Alright, now let's address the elephant in the room. This is a free-to-play game from NetEase, which means monetization is baked into its DNA. The good news, it's surprisingly restrained when compared to some of the predatory systems we've seen in other games. All heroes are available from the start, no grinding or paying to unlock them. The gameplay itself is completely free, with all modes and maps accessible to everyone. The monetization focuses almost entirely on cosmetics, things like skins, emotes, sprays, and other visual flourishes that don't affect any of the gameplay. The Battle Pass system is actually one of the better implementations that I've seen of the system, with the unique twist that once purchased, passes don't expire. You can keep progressing through an old pass even after a new season has started, which is a genuinely player-friendly feature that more games should honestly adopt. That said though, the pricing is still steep by any reasonable standard. Premium skins will set you back around $15 worth of the premium currency, Lattice, which is hard to justify for a single cosmetic item. The Battle Pass offers better value, but still requires a significant time investment to get your money's worth. The progression system outside of paid content leaves a lot to be desired as well. There's little sense of achievement beyond cosmetic unlocks, with ranked play being the only real long-term goal for dedicated players. Some kind of hero mastery system or more meaningful rewards for consistent play would go a long way toward making the free experience feel more rewarding. So, with everything being said, what is the verdict? Is Marvel Rivals the savior of the hero shooter genre, or just another pretender to Overwatch's throne? The truth, as always, lies somewhere in the middle. I mean, this isn't a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. The balance issues are real and frustrating. The visual clarity problems can make intense team fights a confusing mess. And the monetization, while not egregious by free-to-play standards, still asks a lot for cosmetic content. But god damn, when Marvel Rivals is firing on all cylinders, there is nothing else quite like it. The combination of beloved characters, the destructible environments, team-up mechanics, and chaotic combat create moments of pure joy that few other games can match. The fact that NetEase has managed to build something that feels both familiar and fresh in a genre that many had written off is genuinely impressive. Is it better than Overwatch? That's probably the wrong question to ask. It's different, messier in some ways, more innovative in others, but what really matters is that for the first time in years, the hero shooter space feels exciting again. And with NetEase promising monthly hero editions and regular content updates, the future looks pretty bright for Marvel Rivals. For a free-to-play title that many dismissed as a cash grab before release, that is one hell of an achievement. Whether you're a Marvel diehard fan or just someone looking for a new multiplayer fix, Rivals does deserve your attention. Just maybe bring a few friends along for the ride. Those random teammates aren't going to pick strategists on their own. Now, I want to turn the questions back to you. What features do you think other hero shooters should steal from Marvel Rivals? Or what does Marvel Rivals need to steal from its competitors? Let me know down in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth gaming analysis. Thanks for watching, and remember, with great power comes great responsibility.